and here we go. We're on page Dalet, and we're just going through the outline of this. Another section in the middle, we say that this other section, which is called Tikkun Zun v'Yechudim, the Tikkun of Zun, and they're coming together into oneness. He said, "V'yomer Elokim na'asa Adam." So we work on this pasuk here. Let's make the man. Ha-Adam lo kasiv. It doesn't say Ha-Adam, the man, designating that there's a man going to be made. Ela Adam stam. It just says the word together. La Fonka Adam de La'ela. This is to exclude it from the spiritual man, the one that's the flow, the three lines, the Rosh Tok Sof that we understand. This Ave B'Shmo Shlim, that whole man is Zohar v'Nuk. It's completely together. So when one gets perfected, then the other one does too. So it was a flow from the of the Shef of the Ein Sof, which is coming through the upper man. That's the way I understand it. Ultimately, can reach the lower man. That's the idea of perfection of the of Zohar v'Nuk. So Ishtalim Dachar v'Nukva l'Shlama Kula. So now all of the concepts of opposites have come together. Hashem, the word Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, Sifra de Dachar. So that's the side of the male, and of course we've seen this kind of metaphor before. Elokim is Sifra de Nukva. So he says Is Pasha Dechura. So then he says the male aspect spreads. V'istakim b'Tikun be'ima, and it's actually built in the Tikunim that come from Ima, B'Puna de Ama. And where does it come out? It comes out from the Yesod. So he says, what comes out? Malchim is Batlu. That's where the Malchim came out and they were broken down. Hacha is Kaimel. So over here, in this combination of Zohar v'Nuk, then you're able to sustain everything and build it back. Dealing with the Chura Tekifim Bereisha. So the way it is, and the same thing that the Rav says about the year, he says that the male aspect is difficult when it starts Bereisha, but in the end it becomes pleasant. The Nukva Ifcha, but the Nukva is the opposite. It looks a lot sweeter than it is. Anyway, and it turns out that it is Gevur at the end. The Yud K, Kuntarin the Ketura. Now we saw this 3 times at least, and I can't remember what it means, but let's go on. The letter is Yud K. Kuntarin the Ketura. Something about, obviously, Abba Ve'ima, Be'itfui Shekin. So I don't know what Itfui means. Atef, Lashon wrapping, Shkim, Yud, Ze'ira, Begavochod, Ishtakachos. Is this small Yud is over there too. That is very mysterious. I don't know what he's going to say. He said, now going on, is Basam Dinim. So if the Dinim can become sweetened, Bayatika, then you need higher source of light. Also, Hivya al Nukfa, then we have this concept too. The snake goes into the woman. Then he says, Vakina, the Zohama is Stakain Begava. Now this word Kina, I'm not sure what he means, but it maybe means a home. The Zohama, this poison, is set up over by her. In order to make what? The Bedura is a fire. He says, in order to make the big fire, a bad fire, as Kain. So what actually happened is that she got impregnated and she gave birth to Cain. Kina of the Medulla. So this word Kina again, the Medulla, the Ruchim, Bishim, the Ilulim, Bekat Furim, Iskin Bay, are all set up. I'm thinking he means in this badness that's placed in the Nukva. Behind Adam, now back to this man again. He says, Kisrin Bechlal Uprat is Kalalo. So he says Kisrin, right? Kisrin is Lashon Keser. But Klal Prat is Kalal, but Prat Klal, and also Prat Klal, but Prat Klal. So how that works, I don't know. The detail and the rule are also in the detail of the rule. So Shokin is rowing, so he says that this refers to arms. He says, and legs. Yamina was smaller. So first he said legs, then he said arms, and then he said right, and then he said left. The Ispalav Besitra, they all get split. I don't know. In stocking the Char look for Yaakov. So now he says this. There's also another letter. That the tikkun of the Dachar v'Nukva actually takes place through these 3 names. Yud Dachar, K Nukva, Vav, and then it has a Nukva, and then it has a Vav. Ksiv Zohar v'Nekeva Baram, so that they were both created, male and female, v'Yivarach Ozecha v'Yikrach Shemam Adam, and you call their name Adam. The Yuknach Partsufa, the Adam Yasiv al Kursia, so this is the image, the form of the man sits on a throne. So this is not Russian of male and female also. In the image of that, let's say, throne, the Mus Kamare Adam, there's an image there. It's an image like the image of the man, Alav Malamala, that's coming down onto it from up above. Okay, so that's our subject, some of which we've heard drashos on before. Now we're going to go to page Tesvav. Let me see if I can. Okay, Tesvav is a Tikuni Dikna Dezer Anpen, and when I was reading through it, it's like we've been through it 3 times, because in both of the Idris, I think he went through this, and I was going to go through it again. I maybe not in the first Idra, maybe that was only as Eric Anpen. I don't remember. Tisha Tikuni Gikirim. There are 9 glorious tikkunim, the Dikna Dezer Anpen, and the Pirush says that we're talking here about the beard of Zer Anpen. Misakin Batesha Tikkunim Yikarim. So let's call it that. He said that is built out of 9 different tikkunim, which are different channels that are all glorious. V'lo Yosef, but not more than that. Is Masvach of the Dikna. So where do they come from? They're actually given over from the beard of Eric Anpin, al dikta de Zer Anpin, into the beard of Zer Anpin. Because the 9 ultimate tikkunim of the beard of Eric Anpin, Yordim Tomed Lamata. One of their goals, or maybe their goal, is ultimately to shine onto the beard of Zer Anpin. So therefore we say that here that we have a complete transfer, or a flow from Eric Anpin, coming from Eric Anpin. So now we want to explain here the real prize, the real goodness of the importance of this beard of Zer Anpin. Everything that, and he wants to explain like this: everything that is hidden and not revealed. So he says, although you can't see something, that you know it's there but you can't reach it, it says that Nimsa Shukul Elyon V'Yakar, it shows you that it's very panini and extremely glorious, or something really. I'm still working on the word Yakar. Glorious doesn't sound right 100%, and precious is better for me. So therefore it's hidden away, it's covered over. So this is really a very glorious Genize Yakira. This is the hiding away. So he says that this is the way the beard is of Zer Anpin. Because of its tremendous preciousness, or precious, glorious preciousness. We'll keep working on it. And the chuzach of the road, also because of the tremendous amount of glory there, also, and its tremendous paninius to the Ein Sof. So therefore, we have no reference to this in any pasuk. Shlomo HaMelech in his Shir Hashirim, he mentioned Shar Tikuni Evari, parts of Zer Anpin, so he talks about all other different kinds of aspects of the body, or the whole parts of Zer Anpin. Going Rosho Kasim Pal, so his that in regards to his head. His eyes are like doves. Sort of like that, he's going through the different parts of the body, because those lo his Shirim, but in any case, it is not mentioned in Shir HaShirim as Tikuni Dikna de Zer Anpin, the Tikuni Dikna of Zer Anpin. Ela Hizger Lochayev Garugas of Baisin, but he has this concept here. He says on his cheeks, he has over there like rows of incense. Shuhu b'makom hadikna. And we understand that the beard, that these rows that we're talking about are really down in the place where the beard is. So he says, with the beard. So he says, Vahainu katama nizkar. So therefore, the reason that we've mentioned here, the kol mashuhu elyon v'yakar, everything which is up above and precious. So therefore that's the concept, it's not findable, it's hidden away and covered over. Now we're going, that was the first tikkun. So that was number one. He says, and here's, I might be wrong. So let's anyway, tikkun kadma, here's the first tikkun. The dikna. Tikkun rishon the dikna the ZAIR ANPIN. So the first tikkun, he never makom of a seder tzmichazo befanim. So where does it begin? Where does it start growing? On the face of ZAIR ANPIN, who kach, it's like this. Nimin al nimin mikamei piska de udnin. There are layers of hairs, saros al gabe saros, hairs on top of hairs, yotzim belifnei pesach haznaim. So it's very thick at this place. They come from because they start at the ear opening. Shuhu makom haschalas smichas saros tikun the rishon the dikna. So this is because this is the place of the beginning of the growing. This is where they begin to grow of the tikun the rishon the dikna. Adreshu the puma, and it goes all the way down. Their sideburns, they go all the way down to the corresponding opposite to the beginning of the mouth. And from there, the hairs continue to go down. Makom haschalas haped ZAIR ANPIN. I was just saying it over again at the place at the beginning of the mouth. ZAIR ANPIN, the hainu connected rosh safa algan, that is corresponding to the tip or the beginning of the upper lip, miyamin is small on both sides. Number two, here's the second tikkun coming up right now. Silas tikkun the b'shedi the dikta the ZAIR ANPIN, to the second tikkun over there in the zikta dikta the ZAIR ANPIN. Shehem kol ha'sa'aros asher svivus asfasayim. Now he puts all of the hairs that are around the lips, and lips is in plural. So he's talking, seems to me, he's talking about both upper and lower lip. Ben Safa al Yanda, Ben Safa Tachtain, he says it. Somchim Yamen is small, so they grow out on the right side and they grow out on the left. Behind the Bereishahai, that is, what he means to say is that the way that they grow, they start from one end. Shemaskilin that smoach Merosh Asfasayim Azera Asher B'Tzad Yamim, and it specifies. It starts on the right. The Reisha Acher, it goes all the way over to the left, and Nimshach V'Chocham al the Reisha Acher. Shulas Vasayim Asher Besad small, which are the lips which are on the left side. So then Ishtakach v'Nimsim is that. So what we got? Kis Aros Shtechas Vasayim Hem Tikun Echad. So he says that the upper and lower mustache, I'm going to use that kind of word, he says Hem Tikun Echad. They really want Tikun. The Haim Tikun Hasheni, that is this is second Tikun. Ki Yotzim V'Tzomchim, because come out from there, grow from there, Ke'echad, like one. At the same moment that they start to grow on the right side of the upper lip, so then we see this a little chiddush for us, that the lower part also comes into play, and it grows at the same time from right to left. They start growing together. They go from that way, from the right side. So there, it's like they work parallel. So they're all, as one is moving, it's a double line, but around the mouth. So he says, so therefore they all end up at the same time. Small, which is on the left side, more as has been stated. That's number two. A little chiddush there for me, and I appreciate it, or a little bit more detail anyway. And he said, Tali Zohar. Let's go to the third one. Makom Tikkun Ashlishi the Dikna the ZAIR ANPIN. So let's talk about the place of the third one. He says Mitkos Trin Mukfin. It's a place that's between the two nostrils. So they're underneath that place, the openings, the nostrils. So he says of ZAIR ANPIN, Archa Malya, but this is a path that's full. Yotzer Sham Orach Derech. So he says derech is orach derech, a path. Mali basaros is filled up with hairs. Katana, very tad vakasha, but hard, very hard, small hairs. The nimshacha orach lamata ad ems safatachtaina. So this path actually goes down all the way up to the middle, all the way down rather, to the middle of the lower lip. The low is chazian v'ha'orach, but the thing about it is you can't see it. Now, if he said that it goes all the way down to the lower lip, I assume that it goes past the lips. So I'm assuming that, or maybe there's a hepsic. I didn't see that. But the path is not seen. Why? Because it's covered over by hairs. So now let's go to the next one. This is the fourth tikkun of the 9. Tikkun that revealed the dicta to ZAIR ANPIN, who? Alin is chapyan. L'chaim, those are his cheeks. Hamchusin besa'aros, which are covered over with hairs. Mahai gisa, mahai gisa. Number 4 is the cheeks covered with hairs from one side and also on the other side. Bein b'tzad yamin hapanim. So he said with bein b'tzad a small hapanim. I love the face side of the right and the left. Hakol chem tikkun echad. All of them represent one tikkun. So now we come to Chamisha, the 5th one. Tikkun l'chamishi, the dikna to ZAIR ANPIN. Whom makam apanim she'en b'chem sa'aros is a place in the face which is bare of hairs. It has no hairs. Behu is chazir tepuchim sumkim kavardu. Sumakim, he pronounces sumakim. So he says, Ashika b'chem nirim emisgalim shnei tepuchim adumim kushoshana. So now you see there's 2 red cheeks, red like the red of the rose. It means that instead, like an Eric Anpin, it means sweetness. Over here it means the opposite, it's the color red. So din, so the aspect of din. And when do you see this hair? Which is much, when he says that, it's mashma that there's a time when you don't see it. Let's read it. That's at the time when it's not shining on it. But if it is shining on it, so there's either the color probably, that's probably what it is from other places, is the color of the redness probably turns to white. Okay, let me go on. Number Shasi Saw, the 6th one. Tikkun Nashishi, the dikna to ZAIR ANPIN. Who has Sa'aron Shal Chelek Elyon the Over Zakan. This is the hairs that grow on the upper portion of the thickness of the beard. Now let me see what who has Sa'aron Shal Chelek Elyon the Uvi Hazakan of the thickness, the upper portion of the thickness. I guess that means going back towards the neck of the beard. Bechad Chut Italian. So he says in this area there is one, it's like a thread. So this area, number 6, hangs down and extends, and it looks like one thread, very long. And he says, is black. They're black hairs. Black is not a good sign either. And they're powerful, they're tough, and they're strong. And they spread al mispashtem lamata ad chazes. Chazes is another word for chazes, for chest. Shalom, until they spread down to that place. So that's number 6. Let's go over here and see if we get what number 7, Shaviyah. Tikkun Ashliha, the dikta to ZAIR ANPIN, whose safavan smoking kavarda, their lips. Ki the lips of ZAIR ANPIN, shall ZAIR ANPIN, shehem adumim, which are red, kishoshana, like the rose is red, machmas adinim, because of the dinim that are in those lips. And he's telling us that ZAIR ANPIN, without sweetening, is scary. So then he says, Ispanum. What's Ispanum mean? Hem peninim misaros. Hem peninim misaros. Excuse me. They have no hairs there. Ki ein gedolim asaros alfasayim, because on the lips, these red lips, no hairs grow. V'kumo kain, for this reason, saros hasva so the hairs that are on the lip that are growing around the lips, the hinum saras safa yonis saras safa tachtonis, of the hairs in the upper and the lower lip, einim yordin, they never come down, the chsos makam vasvasayim, to come down and cover over the place of the lips. So he said, in other words, the lips are clean, they're clean and red. How about the eighth one? Tikkun Hashmini, the dictum of ZAIR ANPIN. So the eighth tikkun of the dictum is Zi'irim Anachsim Begrona. There are little hairs that go down onto the throat. Sa'aros Katanim Sheyordin the Maltach B'Makam Agarin, to the place where the throat is. Mechapian Kordalo, and they cover over the neck with Bekasim Esatzavar, the Tzadagaron. So this was number 8. These are hairs that cover the neck. Teshiyan, this is the last one. Tikkun Teshi, the dikna, the ZAIR ANPIN, I'm sorry. Who hasa'ara rabashal chelik tachton the over zakan. These are hairs that are found on the lower portion of the thickness of the beard. Inside the goof, that is, they're very close to the skin or growing out of the skin, something like that. Ravavim is the even, they're big ones and little ones. He says like this, he says, up above in the beard of Eric Anpin, if you looked at the thickness of the beard, that's from the front of the back going towards the body, so there you see that their hairs, they're big and they're little ones. Because the 9th tikkun of Eric Anpin, whose sa'aras katanim shebe'emsa over hazakan, they're actually small hairs in the middle of the thickness of the beard. V'tikkun the asach of the Eric Anpin, and the 13th tikkun of Eric Anpin, whose sa'aras gedolim shal chelak atachton the uvi, are big hairs, shal chelak atachton, or the lower, or the inside maybe part of the lower part, he says, of the thickness of the beard. But here, the mata down below here in ZAIR ANPIN. Let me see if I skipped a page here. I did. So he says, "Bedikna the ZAIR ANPIN, in the beard of ZAIR ANPIN, ain't okay. It's not like that. I was over Hazakan and Nachsim b'shikula, but all of the hairs go down evenly. Yodev and the Mishachim b'meshkal echad, and they're balanced. Shakulam shavim b'orcham zebazeh, because they're all the same length. The Ve'ein Echad Arach Yosef Mechavero, so known as not longer than the next one. The Nimsiki Kalas Aras the Uvicha Zakan ZAIR ANPIN, so it comes out like this. That all of the hairs, this word wants to say, the last thing he wants to say, Kalas Aras the Uvicha Zakan, all of the hairs that are in the thickness of the beard, the ZAIR ANPin, Hema Rocks Aras Gedolim, they're only big hairs, long hairs. Vein Bechem Aras Katanim, and it's not mixed in with smaller hairs and bigger hairs, different sized hairs. So he said, so this is another phrase, a way to say something. He says again, and these 9 tikkunim, nimsa giber v'takiv mi nimsa. So he who is found at this place, I guess, is going to be a Givor and Takif. Shuhu ZAIR ANPIN. That's another way of talking about ZAIR ANPIN. ZAIR ANPIN is looking nasty, in my words, with all of this redness about him. B'shashem nishlam lo tzmichus tishitikuni dikna. So he's a powerful man when his beard becomes full. Ki hadiknachem b'mora al koach ha'gavur, because that's what this dikna represents. It means a strong left arm. Wow. He says, it's my words, he says, Imora al koach ha-gevura, the power of the gevura. What are we really talking about? We're trying to learn. Ki b'shash ha-kodesh baruch hu, lochem melchamas yisrael bebechinas ish melchama. And so now he wants to say that this is when the flow is going the right way. and then the Kodesh Baruch Hu wants to appear. I think we might have lost him. Is that the end of his year? Okay, I got this thing doesn't help me. I don't know how to get it on the speaker. I'm trying. No. I'm gonna call you back. Okay, I can't find you. Okay, we're just finishing up now. This is a vort that we actually heard. We've heard this vort before. He says like this. When I'm listening to his description, personally, I'm thinking that ZAIR ANPIN is very dangerous, unless you could bring down Rahmanis on him from Eric ANPIN. So I'm on the word Azai Mizgala B'Chinas Gevura Tekifa, becomes a powerful man. When is this situation? Shall Teshu Dekuni Dikti is a full beard elu. V'az Nikra B'ZAIR ANPIN B'Shem Gibor Takif. That's the strong, powerful man. Ki al Yedecha B'Dekunin Elu Mizgaver Ala Chitzayim, because these in Kedusha are used to be able to fight false ideas, the Oiver Yisrael and the enemies of the Jews. And they take vengeance on them. This is the real concept of the dikna, the beard, that becomes revealed. This is the aspect of this beard that comes out now by a direction of a Kodesh Baruch Hu. To Shanilcham HaKodesh Baruch Hu, because the Kodesh Baruch Hu now is going to go to war. Who B'para, like for example, B'para B'Mitzrayim, L'Hagbim B'Yam Suf, or something like that. V'chein B'Sancheir, the same thing like that. Is Hashem in His Gevur can reveal this for the purpose of punishing our enemies. God should bless us. And so on and so forth. Okay, that's it. I'm sorry, got offline there a little bit. Okay, call two. Thank you. Good Shabbos.